is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
We are getting real. Welcome to DBL. It's Ladies' Day. Woo! Thank you, Lindsay.
Am I the only one? There's the whole studio.
Let's wake it up a little bit, everybody. Let's wake up. All right. We have got just 11 days until Halloween, and this year there is a new fear for parents, and we want to talk about it, and that's rainbow fentanyl pills. So we want to show you this. It's a man in Los Angeles. He tried to board a plane. He was found with thousands of suspected fentanyl pills hidden inside Sweet Tarts, Skittles, and Whoppers candy boxes. Even the DEA is warning parents about the brightly colored pills that could have been found. Now, like these, they were hidden in a Lego container. Now, with Halloween approaching, the warnings about these pills has morphed into parents being told to be on the lookout for pills making their way into kids' trick-or-treat bags. Take a look.
Just last month, 2,000 pounds of fentanyl came across our border. That could kill 500 million people. We're coming into Halloween. Every mom in the country right now is worried, what if this gets into my kid's Halloween basket?
You're talking about the rainbow
fentanyl. What if my teenager gets this?
So warnings about lace candy is nothing new, as I'm sure you guys remember. Fears about razor blades in apples or needles inserted into candies. But how real are these threats? We want to not panic you, give you information. So according to a leading expert, the fear is actually largely unfounded. He said in all of his research, he could find not any piece of evidence that any child has ever been killed or seriously even injured by a contaminated treat picked up while trick-or-treating. So we want to know what you think of this new fear about rainbow fentanyl. Do you think it's unfounded or not? DBL Nation, we want to give you the voice. Do you check your kids' or grandkids' Halloween candy? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in as we discuss. Linz, did Susan check your bags when you were little?
I think I heard the rumor and the razor blades and the apples, but I never actually have seen her go through my bag. I think if anything, she was eating my candy.
Susan?
And so I think I wasn't worried about it, but I could understand watching that news report now. I'm okay, that looks just I don't know, any Sweet Tarts. So,
yeah.
So I, now I'm kind of man, I guess I gotta check the candy. I wasn't thinking about it before. So I understand why people get annoyed by the news sometimes, because if this expert is saying it never happened.
Zero such
So the
times.
chance that you should be alarmed is most parents like me that saw that are probably now alarmed.
Right, and I wonder if we are alarming them not correctly. I'm just letting you know the razor blades and apples, which my parents checked for everything. Most cases of kids discovering them in their apples, which were few, came from other kids just pulling hoaxes, and no one has ever been injured. So it's the odds are so against that this might happen. I'm not saying don't check.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I want us to be really real about you're probably more likely to get hit by a car, which happens on Halloween, or your costume catches on fire. That's also
really morbid stuff.
Those two are much more likely to happen though on Halloween. What do you think about that?
I'm uncomfortable with conflating the issue of the rainbow-colored fentanyl and Halloween, because I do think the rainbow-colored fentanyl is an absolute problem. Anyone who has kids knows that even Tide Pods are an issue because of the color, and kids have a tendency to put them in their mouths.
That's true.
Now, are people out there giving away their drugs? I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. That this has always been the thing we brought up earlier in Colorado. There was this big alarm about, oh my goodness, people or kids are going to end up with edibles in their trick-or-treating bag, and I'm like, who's giving away their edibles? Do y'all have any idea how much edibles cost?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't seem realistic, but I don't want to just say oh, okay, we don't have to worry about this issue, because obviously the rainbow color is being targeted towards children. Now, is your neighbor going to put that in your child's bag? Probably not, but let's continue this conversation outside of Halloween.
I agree with you, because I think the Skittles and the Sweet Tarts wasn't necessarily for trick-or-treating. It was for smuggling in those pills, but it scares...
Which was dumb, by the way, okay? I mean, anybody who thinks about how TSA works in general, if you were going to do something like that, why would you put it in a Lego container? That doesn't even resemble a Lego shape.
I know, that was weird. I also want to say this, a lot of people and parents, I don't know if you guys remember the Tylenol tampering case. Do you remember that?
Oh,
in 1982,
yeah.
7 people died because someone went into the grocery stores and put cyanide instead of Tylenol, and that's why we now have those like foils on the tops of Tylenol. So that did happen and was very scary. So I just want to say fentanyl is a very, very strong drug, and if you feel as a grandparent or parent you want to check, absolutely, we're not trying to dismiss that. We're just trying to give you the facts. Let's take a look at the poll. Yeah, a lot of you are going to be checking. 87% of you, 13% say no. My mom wouldn't let me eat anything unwrapped.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat anything unwrapped.
Yeah, that's true. I was all like, yeah. All right, we've got another Halloween-related story for you. A gutsy thief was caught on camera stealing a 14-foot-tall skeleton from a front lawn in broad daylight.
Who takes the time out?
Footage from a neighbor's Ring camera fully shows her pulling up and doing her best to shove said massive skeleton into the trunk of her car. After several attempts to force the skeleton into the car, she decided to then disassemble the legs and the base before driving off. There is a $50 reward for any information about the bone theft.
They couldn't find her? Like, that's hard to hide. It doesn't seem like you need to find investigation discovery to figure out where the skeleton
went. Look for the bones sticking out of the car.
Well, also, I mean, that's the footage that we're getting now, but Ring footage is very clear. You can see license plates and stuff like that. So I know that because I spend a lot of time on Ring footage. I am, like anybody in my neighborhood knows, to ask me, just give me a time and date, and I will absolutely find out who was there, what was happening, what they were saying, because the audio is very clear.
Wow.
Yeah, so just if anybody's like me, you know.
Have you guys ever had anything stolen? Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, anything stolen from decorations?
No, but I got a citation from the HOA for leaving mine up too long. I left them up till February, and they're like, we're fining you $150 if you don't take them down today.
Dang.
So like Jeff puts them up really early, I just don't take them down. I also was not getting on the roof, and Colin probably wasn't either, so that's why we had a TaskRabbit, another beautiful app where you can see things clearly that you want to get done for yourself. So
that's amazing.
That's the only thing that I have the experience with. But I do think like some of these Halloween decorations scare the crap out of me. So if they were taking the skeleton because they didn't want to look at that like across the street from their house, I would say that too, because I see people with too many decorations, and I'm like, all right, I love Halloween like for dressing up, but the scary part or like this big 14-foot skeleton is like a bit much. And if it falls on my house,
I'm into it. I think it's when I see a house that's fully decorated, I'm like, they throw good parties.
Yeah, that skeleton wasn't doing anything to anyone.
I agree.
That woman wanted it for herself, and it's really silly too, because she probably lives in the neighborhood, and it's like, show me the receipt.
Yeah, right? Where did you get that skeleton with the leg off? Coming up on DBL, is the Netflix show The Crown damaging the royal image? We're talking about if the show needs to be historically accurate, and our interview with Derek Hough. He gives us the deets on his friendship with the Michael Bublé.
I'm easily tickled, y'all.
Yeah,
Take
I
much.
love it. You're gonna sit here and be right.
I know y'all gonna be mad at me, but I'm just telling you the truth.
You can smirk all you want. You don't have to tell me to go.
Brad Pitt.
The Crown, from what I saw in the trailer, and you'll see a little bit, it's actually taken from actual events that were recorded in time. We have the footage, so it's her talk with the BBC, her expose, where she talked about, you know, what was it? It was being too crowded in the marriage with 3 people. So that's portrayed. Her divorce dress. So the actress wears her divorce. She wore this in 1994 after it was announced that her and Charles were going to get divorced. So there's scenes that were actually taken from. Like, you can
know the conversation.
Right, so that's where they've taken the creative liberties, is just all the, you know, behind the scenes stuff, but the actual events are grounded in history. Nobody can dispute that Diana wore the dress, got divorced from Charles, did an interview, interview with the BBC, you know, that's all there. So
what are they making up?
Well,
dialogue, kind of?
I think Judi Dench's beef with it is just that it's.
Well, she's good friends with Camilla.
Right, we have that. So she's good friends with
very
Camilla.
good friends with Camilla.
She's met the Queen on a number of occasions. She was made a dame. So she feels it's sort of an assault on the royal family just to even air any of this stuff and fictionalize it.
You think that any royal has any reasonable expectation of privacy about anything? No.
Discuss.
I know that's not right, but they don't.
The show's creator, he said he doesn't shy away from the royal family's difficult time in the 90s, but defends the show, saying it isn't unkind to King Charles. And then you can mention the divorce dress. We have a picture of Diana wearing it.
Do you remember that revenge dress in '94? Remember this? And she got out of the car and we were all like, hello!
Yeah.
And she reaches for a hand.
Oh,
and then
we had that exact
and she
shot.
danced with John Travolta.
That was a different event.
That was a different
Yeah.
time.
But anyway.
But anyway, that's really exciting. And then Camilla Parker Bowles, the third woman, tried her hand at a revenge dress and wore the same looking choker with the off the shoulder.
Oh.
Didn't go as well.
No.
Didn't go as well. We were not Camilla Parker bowled over.
Welcome back. We're getting our first look at the new season of The Crown. I've watched every episode. It airs next month on Netflix, and it really does not shy away from the divorce drama between Charles and Diana. Let's take a look.
She's at breaking point because of the way she feels she's been treated. They see her as a threat.
Remember the one condition, the one rule. You remain loyal to this family.
Be silent.
Wow. All right. But Dame Judi Dench, as you see here, recently wrote an open letter to the Times UK criticizing the show for being, quote, crude sensationalism and cruelly unjust to the royal family. She also wants Netflix to add a disclaimer to each episode, telling viewers the show is fiction and not historically accurate. Judi has met the Queen on a number of occasions and, of course, was made a dame back in 1988. She is also a very close friend of Queen consort Camilla Parker Bowles, who is actually featured having the affair with Charles in the new season. Do we need a disclaimer?
No.
Explain.
We don't need a disclaimer.
Explain.
I mean, I respect Judi riding for her girl, Camilla.
I know.
Like, okay, I mean, that's what friends are supposed to do. However, it's rooted in historical context. So, yes, I do believe that when it's rooted in historical context, we understand that this is entertainment. We, the audience, can deduce what is actually accurate and what's not. But to have a disclaimer as if it's somehow rocking the image, I mean, they do that regularly themselves. No one has to do that for them.
So you think it's sort of redundant and unnecessary and won't really do anything. The Crown creator, Lindsay, just, you know, Peter Morgan says, defends the show, saying it isn't unkind to Charles, it's just being real. And it does feature, as we saw, the divorce dress, that revenge dress that we saw in 1994, that off-the-shoulder look that she rocked. There she is in the original.
Perfect.
She walked out of that car in that dress after the divorce, and we all, our jaws dropped. Shoulders.
And then what happened?
And then our jaws.
No, and then what happened after that?
Oh, and then I thought she danced with John Travolta.
No,
Oh.
Camilla.
Oh. And then Camilla tried to wear a revenge dress. It didn't go well.
Oh, There's nothing like the original, baby.
Nothing like the original. Lindsay, what do you think?
I think it's not a documentary, it's a drama. So that's where to start first. And they also have like historical consultants on the show that worked in the royal family, just like a lot of shows. Like people talk about, what's the show with Kerry Washington? With Scandal. Like they had a lot of political consultants. So a lot of that was over the top, but it was related to presidencies that actually happened and dramas that actually happened. So there are some things, but there's no way to know what they were actually talking about in these rooms when the doors were closed and there were no mics or cell phones that recorded at the time. So the love lives and the private conversations, you can estimate from friends and people that want to spill and tell all. But I think they're just doing their best to entertain us, but also shine some light on like things that we didn't even know, like people being killed because of some oil spill. You know, there's some historical accuracy if you look up, because a lot of times when that was happening, I was so young during this family's reign at the time they're showing that I didn't even know that a lot of these things happened. So I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
And I'm Googling like some of these things that they're talking about and discussing, and then everything is accurate, but then they just, you know, paint the pictures with a couple colors to fill in. Yeah, they color in the blanks.
Diana had a reporter come in with a fake recorder, a real recorder under fake books, so she could give her side of the story. So we know a lot more of her voice than people realize. Really quick, do you think we should delay The Crown because of the Queen's death? Yes or no? No? Okay. Oh, wow. Coming up on DBL. Our interview with Derek Hough, he tells us about his reaction to Selma Blair bowing out of Dancing with the Stars. Stay tuned for that one.
President Jimmy Carter was the first president to acknowledge climate change while in office. A viral Reddit post with 123,000 upvotes claims Carter tried to address the energy crisis by adding solar panels to the White House during his administration, only to have his successor, Ronald Reagan, remove them. So let's verify. Did President Jimmy Carter have solar panels installed on the White House that President Ronald Reagan later removed? Our sources are the National Museum of American History, the White House Historical Association, Unity College, the University of California, and the U.S. Department of Energy. In 1979, gas prices were spiking across the nation, and Americans were looking for alternatives. The White House Historical Association says Carter decided to set the example and installed 32 solar panels on the roof of the West Wing to heat water in the White House. At the time, he predicted the panels would still be in use in the year 2000. In reality, the panels were removed in 1986 under then-President Reagan when the White House roof was resurfaced, and they never went back. The panels were placed into storage. So, yes, President Jimmy Carter did have solar panels installed on the White House that President Ronald Reagan later removed. Those panels did get a second life. In 1991, 16 of them were moved to Unity College in Maine, where they powered a water heater in the school's cafeteria until 2010. As for the White House, President George W. Bush installed solar panels on a maintenance building in 2003. 10 years later, President Barack Obama added panels to the main building. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. He's won 3 Emmys for his choreography on Dancing with the Stars, and before becoming a judge on the show, he won more mirror ball trophies than any other competitor. Earlier, we spoke with the Derek Hough with our guest host, Mark Summers. Check it out.
Please welcome to the show, Derek Hough.
Heck yes! Derek! He's back. Man, I follow you on Insta. I just love what you're doing on social and your dancing skills. You now have teamed up with Chase and Southwest Rapid Rewards credit cards, which I have. You can hook me up. They are looking for amazing teachers to send on free learning-fueled vacations. How did your favorite teacher, I would love to know, change your life? Was it a dancing teacher, Derek?
Absolutely. You know, one of my first teachers was Rick Robinson, and he made dancing cool for me. He was an incredible teacher, incredible mentor, and that's why I love partnering up with Southwest Rapid Rewards credit cards with Chase, because, you know, one, I love travel, and I love teachers, I love mentors, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them. So there's this great contest that we're doing, and it's called Teach the Love Contest, where you know, it's giving people can nominate their favorite teachers to go on this amazing, you know, edu-vacation, if you will, around America, and it's just a wonderful thing to bring in my 2 favorite things I love the most, you know, travel and teaching. So yeah, it's a really special contest.
Shout out to the teachers out there.
We're having a contest.
Yes.
You should tell him we have a contest. How many stars are on Tori's sweater?
It's too many. It's so many. I look like a mom at après-ski.
Yeah, you do. It's all good. It's all good. So let's talk Dancing with the Stars, because on Monday, Selma Blair bowed out of the show. So were you surprised by her announcement?
I was, because, you know, she, of all people, she wanted to be there so much. She absolutely loved the show and the experience. Unfortunately, you know, it was the right decision, because, you know, we don't want anything long-term. But it was the most graceful and beautiful send-off I've ever seen on the show, ever. And she's extraordinary. Yeah. She's absolutely extraordinary. And she's forever left her mark on this show, forever.
So go ahead. Did you get a chance to speak with Selma after the show?
Yeah, I did. I try to, whenever anybody gets eliminated, I always go up to them and speak with them, because I understand how much it means to them. I think that, you know, being on the show is an extraordinary experience, and when you leave, it's sad. It's very sad. So I always like to sort of give them some comfort and just you know, words of some love, you know, as they're sent off. So, but she's amazing. I love her. Yeah.
So Derek, rumor has it that you are engaged and getting married. Do we have a date yet?
Ooh, to a hottie.
Oh, to a hottie, to a baddie. Yes, it's true. The rumors are true, sir. Next year sometime. There's not a date yet. We're looking for a venue. Sorry, it took me a while to get there, but we got there.
You don't have a venue yet, but you have an amazing singer. I understand that Michael Bublé has already volunteered to sing.
What?
You guys have a relationship. How did that happen?
Stop.
You know, I directed a music video for him a couple years ago, and then just recently, and we've just become really good friends. We're pretty much the same person. Just we're like the same. It's like it drives our ladies nuts when we get together. But he's a gracious man. Actually, he's gonna be on Dancing with the Stars this week coming up. It's Michael Bublé night.
Whoa!
And I'll be performing. I'll be performing. He's gonna be guest judging. He's gonna be performing. It's gonna be an epic night. So very excited about it.
I love him.
Yeah, he's the best.
That's really cool. I think I'm gonna have somebody rap at my next divorce. That's really good.
That's so good.
Everybody gets wedding singers. Nobody gets a divorce rapper. I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right.
You are such
That's
a
amazing.
That's what's up.
New trend.
Now, we're joking over here because Michael had us cracking up when he was on our show. Now, when you have a funny friend, I know how that is. Do things go off the rails when he's around, and are you the friend that brings him back into the fold?
Oh man, is it possible to bring back into the fold? He is who he is. I had to say that's one of the things I was so surprised about when I met him was just how funny he was and how funny he is and how just quirky and witty and fast. So I'm looking forward to sitting next to him on the judges table and see what amazing things happen. We'll see.
We'll talk
My
about
hope
it on the show.
My hope is that he sits between Bruno and I, so Bruno stops grabbing me.
Yeah, he's a grabber. He is. Tori starting rumors over there. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't say that. You're right. DBL Nation, to enter a teacher, visit the website chase.com/teachthelove. You can also watch Dancing with the Stars on Disney Plus every Monday. We'll be right back. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, buddy.
There's a good chance there's a gourd or two on the front porch right now. It is October after all. But this meme shared here on Facebook says that one way to keep that lasting through the fall is with a bleach bath. It also cautions, though, that's bad for wildlife. So, does bleach preserve the life of a pumpkin, and is it dangerous to critters?
We turn to these sources to verify. First, does bleach extend the life of a pumpkin?
On the surface of that pumpkin, there's lots of fungi and bacteria and things that will eventually break through the skin of the pumpkin.
John Porter, urban agriculture educator with the University of Nebraska, explains, yes, using diluted bleach to sanitize that pumpkin can extend the pumpkin's life.
It will actually kill the bacteria and fungi.
Clorox, a company that makes bleach, even includes a pumpkin bleaching tutorial on its website. Okay, so is it safe? For wildlife and people, yes.
The key is to use it correctly.
Dilute it, no more than a tablespoon of bleach per gallon of water, and use the solution in a well-ventilated area.
Once it's dilute and once it's open to the air, bleach actually dissipates very quickly. So within 24 hours, all of that bleach is gone from the surface of that pumpkin.
That means shortly after spritzing your pumpkin, it's front porch ready. Though Porter recommends waiting a bit longer if you bleach the more absorbent inside of a jack-o'-lantern.
There is minimal risk to wildlife. Most people don't realize that many of the pumpkins and things that you buy from the grocery store or the farmer's market has probably already been at one point washed with bleach.
That initial post suggests using vinegar to preserve the pumpkin, but Porter says evidence is divided on just how useful that actually is. The Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources says yes, pumpkins like these are a treat for critters like squirrels and raccoons, but they say the bigger concern for them with their safety is little plastic debris like candy wrappers that can often be left around this time of year. So that's another thing to keep an eye on, to watch out for your furry neighbors. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
This year, the number of folks turning out to vote early could break records. Let's connect the dots. Nationwide, more than 3.5 million people have already cast their ballots. And that's ahead of early voting numbers compared to this time during the last midterm election in 2018. Overall, experts expect the turnout to be about the same. But this time, more people are expected to vote early. Down in Georgia, first-day early voting numbers already breaking records. So why are people deciding to vote now? It's simply more convenient. Early voting happens over the course of several weeks. It also offers voting over the weekend for folks who can't take off from work. Plus, you're allowed to vote at any open site in the county, not just the one closest to your home. And that is connecting the dots.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. It's time for some amazing deals on products from our friends at Morning Save. Sweet, sweet deals. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hi, Tori. Hey, DBL Nation. We are so excited to show you the deals today. And trust me, we've got some fantastic ones. So let's get started. So first up today, we've got the 2-pack ODEC USB-C 10,000 mAh power banks. So this deal includes 2 portable chargers, 1 USB-C charging cable, and 1 micro USB charging cable. And normally this is $45, but now we've got it for just $19.99 for both chargers, so you're saving 56%. Next up, we've got the Assure Alert Wireless Alarm Security Warning System. So this deal includes 1 wireless receiver, 2 PIR room sensors, 3 magnetic door or window sensors, and installation hardware. Wow. So normally these are $50, but we've got them for just $14.99, which means you guys save 70%. Next up, we've got the Chronomax Bravo smartwatch. So this deal includes 1 smartwatch and 1 charging cable, and the watch is available in 3 different colors. We've got black, rose water, which would match your outfit, Tori, and gray. Wow. So normally this is $160, but we've got it for $39.99. So it saves everyone 75%. And for our last product today, we've got the Diamond Muse 110 carat TW Diamond Circle Halo Pendant Necklace. Whoa. And it features a center diamond surrounded by rows of diamond halos set in sterling silver. So normally this is $149, Tori, but now we've got it for just $49.99, which saves 66%.
Oh my God, head on over to morningsave.com. You can snag all these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or just scan that code right there, the QR code on screen. Again, thank you so much, Steph.
Some very good products at some very good prices.
Very, very good.
DBL is new every day.
Drive it home.
Same time, same place tomorrow. Sorry I shouted.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.